Hi, it is Kitty Blue. It is June the 12th, and I am going to do a quick response to a couple of the BJD Addict prompts that I have missed. It's going to be prompt number 44 and 45. So, first of all, prompt number 44 is, what is the one thing that your dolls cannot go without? What is that item that makes them unique or gives them character? I don't really think I have any dolls that have a particular item that they can't do without, that they have to have at all times. The only thing that I can think of for this prompt would be for my dolls, my animal hybrid dolls. Their race is called Ryeth. And they have animal tails and ears. I have 8 characters that have the ears and tail. I do have another character that is a shapeshifter, so she actually has a wolf tail. So those are some of the things that pretty much the dolls that I have that obviously can't, do without that one thing, which is part of their character. The only other doll that I can think of that I have is I do have a little boy, a resin soul USD sized boy that always wears either a panda suit or just a panda hood. And since he received a little panda stuffed animal in one of my photo stories from one of my other characters, he usually carries that around as well. So those are the only things that I can think of as far as like items that, my dolls, can't do without or are unique to his character or their character. So I'll just move on to prompt number 45. I'm just going to bring this up on my computer so I can read them to you.
Hello everybody, Rockin' Ichigo here.
Okay, prompt 45. One of the first questions is, have you ever noticed how your dolls multiply? Of course not. My dolls have not multiplied. Yes, they have. I didn't expect to have this many dolls that I do. They're quite addictive. There's so many unique sculpts out there and so many different, beautiful sculpts that it's very hard to just limit to just a few dolls. I give total props to anybody that only has 1 or 2. That's fabulous. I've just always been a doll addict in general, so I never foreseed like having this many dolls, but I can definitely see that I would have dolls, a lot of dolls, but not nearly as many that I have. The other part of the question is, have you ever set a limit for the number of dolls? I never really set a limit. Originally, when I first saw the dolls, I was going to find sculpts for my main 8 characters that I have that are the hybrid characters like I was talking about just a few minutes ago. When I stumbled upon Resin Soul, and these are characters that I did sketches of and had kind of brief little, characteristics written down of their personalities and stuff. I did this like 15, 20 years ago. And so I created these animal hybrid characters. And originally I did actually, in fact, want to try and contact a doll company to try and produce some dolls, but I just didn't know how to go about doing that. So when I stumbled upon BJDs, especially Resin Soul, I realized that this is perfect and I can actually finally create these dolls that I have wanted to create. Obviously, they're not my original sculpts or anything like that, but I have developed the characters over the time that I've had them. So those were the original ones that I did want in the beginning. I never set a limit that I was going to only get those 8. I did want to try and get different sizes of dolls, USD, MSD, and SD dolls, to start doing clothing, creating clothing for them and selling them. But I realized that there's so many different like sized dolls within those ranges of dolls that it's just almost impossible to find one perfect model to fit the clothing, clothing for all of the, MSDs that ranged of sizes that they have, because resin sole is very thin compared to any other doll. Like my Dollmore Caddish dolls are taller and thicker, so it's almost impossible. There's certain things, that are stretchy that would be able to fit a wide range of dolls. So yeah, no, I never set a limit, but I definitely didn't expect to have as many as I did. Next part of it, it says, did you keep it? Or in my case, them. I have kept the good majority of the dolls that I have purchased over the years. There are some, though, that I did decide to rehome because they just didn't fit in with the storylines that I wanted to do, or I just didn't create a character for them, and they really weren't that special to me. So, and most of those were not limited sculpts. So in the future, if I decide, hey, maybe that doll would be that great for this other character, I can still order those and receive them. So I decided at the time they weren't necessary in my storyline or what I was doing with my dolls. So there are some that I have not kept. Once you got your doll, did you find yourself wanting more? When I first bought my dolls, my original doll that I bought was a 60 centimeter Ibitsu. That was a very impulse buy. It was not the doll that I wanted. I really wanted to get the resin sole dolls, which I did get. I did order shortly after ordering the Ibitsu. I did actually order 2 resin sole dolls. So in the very beginning, I never received one doll and was like, oh, I want more. I actually received 2 dolls at one time, which was great. But I did find myself wanting more because I knew that I did want to get the characters for, my 8 characters in doll form. So I definitely wanted more. And once I started collecting a few of my main characters, I did find myself, looking at other dolls on Den of Angels marketplace, which can be a very, very evil place. I just started finding different characters to intertwine with my main characters in different photo stories. So they just multiplied from there. Let's see. Are you happy with the ones that you have? I am very happy with the majority of my dolls that I have. There are some dolls that were definitely impulse buys. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like them as much as, some of my other dolls, but some of them don't fit very well into the big picture of the stories and stuff that I'm creating and of my characters. So eventually, when they have their tiny little part in my photo stories, I will be rehoming them. And it's going to be a pretty big chunk. I know offhand there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 8 to 10 dolls that I know just offhand that are going to, be that part of my story, of the stories, and then they're going to move on. And I'm actually going to have that as part of the stories as well for some of the characters. So I am happy with the majority of them. They're really great dolls. It's just very hard. It's just very hard not to let them multiply because companies just keep coming out with more and more dolls. I do, in fact, have they are going to multiply later today because my Doll Chateau order has finally arrived. I ordered it at the end of December, and Denver doll sent me a notice that they finally arrived to them. So they're being shipped. They're supposed to be here today at the end of the day via UPS. Whether or not I will be able to open them today, we shall see, because I have some other things to do that are getting in the way of my doll time. Plus, if I have to actually sign for the package and I'm not here, I'm going to have to either sign it and have them leave it for tomorrow, or pick it up at a UPS station somewhere. So I definitely know that they're going to keep multiplying to some point. I haven't set a limit. I really probably should set a limit as to how many that I want in the end. But that's just very hard to do. I mean, I don't think if it's something you enjoy doing and it's not harming you from getting other like bills paid and things like that, then why not have a room full of dolls? So I think that's about it. I feel like I'm rambling now about my dolls. Yeah, so I do have dolls coming in that hopefully later today you will see a box opening video up, or at least tomorrow morning maybe. And that is it for the BJD Addict prompt response for number 44 and 45. I look forward to receiving, or I look forward to them posting more prompts to do, because it's a lot of fun. And thank you to everybody that has been watching my videos. It's great to see all your comments. And I will see you next time. Take care and have a great day. Bye.